This is the anthem. Here's what you came for.
Welcome to the Disney Beat, a podcast brought to you by thedisinsider.com. My name is Sean Nyberg, and I will be covering all of the Disney headlines to keep you informed as you start your week.
Happening right now.
Hello there, this is Sean Nyberg, and this podcast is being recorded on Friday afternoon, January 29th, 2021. In this special edition of the Disney Beat podcast, I am joined once again by my close friend and Disneyland connoisseur, Myken Nunes, to announce the round 3 winners of the Ultimate Disneyland Resort Tournament of Rides. Over the past 3 weeks, over 143,000 Disneyland fans voted on the first 3 rounds of head-to-head matchups in our tournament. I will be posting a list of the winners this Sunday at thedisinsider.com, and voting for round 4, the Elite 8, will begin Monday, February 1st at thedisinsider.com on the Twitter handles at Sean Nyberg, all one word, Sean, SeanNyberg, at Sean Nyberg, and at the Diz Insider, as well as the Instagram and Facebook pages by searching the Diz Insider. Next Friday, we'll be recording another podcast to announce the winners of round 4 and announce the final 4. So sit back and enjoy as we discuss 16 Disneyland rides in 8 matchups. All right, we're here. It's me, Sean Nyberg, with my good friend Myken Nunes.
Hello.
Did you hear you got demoted to good friend?
I know. I kind of noticed that. I'm like, wow.
We've been here for...
We were best friends last week, only good friends this week. Next week we'll be acquaintances.
Then after that, you're going to be gone. So.
Exactly. Replaced.
Okay, we are here to discuss round 3 results, the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8. We're going to narrow it down.
Wow.
I know. This is, these kind of things are really fun for me, but I also feel like it's always tough to rank things you love, because...
There were some tough choices in here that I
think next week's going to be real Sophie's Choice for some people.
Ooh.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yes, but I was actually thinking about, I wonder if a lot of your listeners even know what it is. Maybe they do.
Maybe. It's Meryl Streep, right?
Oh, yeah.
In the 70s?
Yes. Ooh,
yes.
Really dating yourself.
I know. Oh, I wasn't alive, but I think... Okay, so we're going to get right into this. So just a little recap of round 3. We've had, in the last 3 weeks, we've had 143,000 votes. So I feel like we're getting a good idea of, the thought process of Disney park fans. And
is it about the same amount of votes each day, like for each matchup?
No, it was really fascinating. Sometimes it's just weird. Like last week on the Monday, it was really low, but then that was, I believe, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Mm-hmm. We get most of our votes through Instagram. I think we have 72 or 3,000 followers there. So that's where we get a lot of our votes.
Okay, I thought you said you get most of them on Twitter.
Second most is Twitter.
Okay.
But any of those places, guys, if you want to vote next week, it's the Instagram at the Diz Insider, Twitter at Sean Nyberg, and at the Diz Insider, the website at thedisinsider.com, and Facebook group too. You can do that as well. Searching what, Myken? The Diz Insider?
At the Disney Insider.
At the Diz Insider.
Diz Insider, excuse me.
So we are...
I felt like it was on a radio contest when they ask you, and what's the slogan of this thing? And you're like, oh my God, what is it?
You used to be on those a lot, I feel like. Didn't you used to call in a lot?
I never actually got through, but sure, I would call in.
One time I got in to Total Request Live.
What'd you request?
Well, the MTV show that I went in, I called in for, it was like one of those, it showed a picture. It was supposed to be a Janet Jackson trivia contest. But when I called, they said, oh, we already have enough people lined up for that. So we're going to have you do this. Can you guess this person from their high school photo? And it was the drummer for Blink-182, and for some reason I knew who it was.
Oh my gosh, that's
they sent me from MTV in New York. They sent me a T-shirt with TRL. It was a size medium, and I am not a size medium. But it was nice. It was a nice little wash rag.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we're gonna start right away with we got some heavy hitters here. We're gonna lose a few favorites, but we're gonna start with one that I think is a little bit obvious. Who's got the advantage here? We've got Splash Mountain versus First, real quick, just a reminder, this is for Disneyland, the Disneyland Resort. So we're going to do Walt Disney World soon. I was thinking about doing it next, but I think I'm going to wait till March because I think it might get confusing for people who are casually voting. Like, wait, why are we voting for Space Mountain again? I thought we already did that. You know what I'm saying? So I might do Pixar movies next or animated Disney princesses. I don't know. But anyway, the point is, this is for the Disneyland Resort. So Splash Mountain versus The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. Myken, I know we've talked about all these at some level, but...
I know. No, this one, Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely Splash Mountain. Thrill, what do you call them? This is a thrill ride versus...
like a casual dark ride.
Yeah.
And I think what Splash has is kind of like Little Mermaid for a little bit, like... in terms of like the animatronics and the dancing and the singing of the characters, but then it's also got some thrill, maybe a little bit of get wet on it. I think it's got one of the best cues, one of the best lines out there, right up there with Indiana Jones. It's just fun, right?
Oh, I love Splash Mountain. I do have to be honest. There have definitely been times I have gone to Disneyland and not chosen to go on it. Just probably weather related more than anything. You're just like, well, I don't know. Do I really want to be walking around all damp and
moist?
Yeah, no moistness there.
No moist.
But whenever I do go, I'm always like, oh, I'm so happy I went. I also love that it's another one where you can watch. You can stand on that one. I don't know if it's actually a bridge, kind of across from. Are the canoes down there?
Yeah, the canoes are right over there.
The canoes are down there, and then you can. Watch people come down, and again, it's always funny if you have other people that are on the ride trying to anticipate when it's going to be them.
Oh, really? Oh,
to watch them come down, it always cracks me up.
I've never done that. I've seen people do. Is it always? Does it take them longer than you think?
Oh my gosh, yes. You know me. I don't mind if it's sunny out. I don't mind standing and just soaking up the sunshine and people watching, but it does get a little bit tedious when every single log that comes, is that them, and you don't necessarily know what the order. Are they in the front, are they in the back, was she wearing the green, was she wearing the yellow? So anyway, but I think that's another enjoyable part of Splash Mountain that maybe most people don't really think about.
Well, you're right. No, and I think unlike Little Mermaid, and I think even some of the other ones like Pirates of the Caribbean, it creates energy. They call it kind of kinetic energy, where even if you don't go on the ride, it's still, you see the people falling in the background and the water's flowing down. It creates a fun energy all throughout the park if you can see the mountain, right?
Yeah, and even if you're over in that area or even over by the Haunted Mansion and you see people walking by that are soaked, you're like, oh wow, they were on Splash Mountain. They really got doused. So
really
it's
doused. And then where you said you like to watch them, I think we walked over there with you and Paul. There's this little area kind of tucked behind. It's not really known by a lot of your average park goers. It's called Fowler's Harbor, and there's some seats there. If you kind of go right across from Splash down by the Rivers of America, it wraps around and you can get it's a little private area and you can get a really good view, not of them falling, but right when you fall and splash, and then it's like it turns the corner before it brings you back in the show building for the big zippity doo dah finale.
Yes.
You can see the people make that turn, and that's right when everyone's going, I got soaked. Did you get soaked?
Oh, right. Yeah, that energy. The other thing that's over in that area that I will bring up because it's one of my things. Well, there's two things at Disneyland that I don't understand why people love so much, but I know that the giant pickles are sold at a little stand.
She will not let us get
right
them
over by
if we're near her,
where you can watch the Splash Mountain.
She won't let us.
No, I don't understand it. And then
I found it real quick. I want to go to the next one. We got to talk about these pickles. Okay. I found that thing. Apparently, remember a pickle pin or something like that? I don't know if it's real, but the idea was if you're the first, if you rope drop pickles and you're the first one of the day to get a pickle, you get some. If you ask for a pin, I don't know if it's real. It probably is not, but it just sounds like a great rumor. And she just doesn't want us to have drippy dill juice all over.
I know. Hands. Well, and then even just the bag itself with that greenish yellow liquid just pooled up down at the bottom of the plastic bag.
Do you not like pickles at all?
No, absolutely not. No.
Nope. See, I love them, and I'm getting them next time. Like, sorry, I'm gonna double fist pickles.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
and then we're gonna, and then
well, and then when you see people, and then they're offering the whole family a bite, and they're just passing around this pickle, all munching on it. Anyway,
those people have issues. But I will say, people who do like them say they're one of the most refreshing. I know, sorry. I try to think about like you. Imagine if they sold like raw onions.
Oh.
You walk around just chomping like an apple on. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. So the pickles and
Yeah, so you can what you can you. Oh, you want me to say about my other thing? Yeah, because I don't know this other thing. I'm not sure exactly. I think you can find it in Fantasyland. Is it Fantasyland? Anyway, is the giant turkey leg. That is another one. And if I had to rank which one I find more grotesque, I think I would actually have to say the turkey leg.
Yeah.
Just with the grease.
We've never gotten them.
But we've been around people who have.
We did on the engagement trip in November of 2019. Our friend Steve, Super Steve 2120 on Instagram, he got 2 of them.
Oh my gosh.
And he sat down in Fantasmic and he pounded them. And he told us later.
I shared a room with him that night and he was not feeling good.
He was not. He said he maybe overdid it with the 2 turkey legs. So
yeah, like 5,000 grams of sodium.
People do love it. Was our friend Marcy who will be with us next week? Didn't she say her and her family or like kids?
Oh yeah, they get them for the family.
Oh god, there's probably people listening to this who just love one pickle in one hand and a turkey leg in the other.
Well, it is a good mobile a mobile feast to walk around if you're in a rush.
There is this rumor, and someone someone who's famous, obviously, they were on Conan O'Brien's talk show, and they said that they weren't actually turkey legs; they were actually emu, or ostrich. One of those. Some crazy.
Oh my God. I literally thought you were saying emo.
Emo, yes, emo.
I was like, what?
No, but they started the rumor that I probably think it was ostrich, actually. Ostrich legs, because the whole idea was like, you've never seen a turkey with that big of a leg. And people believed it, and like Snopes had to come out and do like, that's false. And Disney's like, no. Like, first of all, if we could have
that sounds really expensive. Yeah.
Yes. For what, do you have any idea what the going rate for a turkey leg at Disneyland Resort is?
Okay, I'm just gonna guess $16.95, but I have
no idea.
idea.
I have no idea. I'm gonna guess probably a little less. I'm gonna say, I was gonna say really low, like $6.95.
Oh gosh,
I'm probably way.
You
off.
can't even get a churro barely for that.
You're right. Churros like $5.25, $5.75. Okay, now let's show. What do you think a pickle?
I'm gonna say a pickle might be $8.95.
Yeah, gosh, I'll say $5.75 for a pickle. But
I don't think anything's 7. I think usually things are 95.
Right. Okay, you're right. So, I'm saying around 5 to 6 for a pickle. You're saying what? 8 to 9, 9 to 10?
Yeah.
And then I'm saying, what I say for the leg? $8 for a leg, and you say 16.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yes, next week.
Next week.
You know what? Maybe your next poll could be the food of Disneyland.
Oh, that's a really good. Oh yeah, controversial topic when Paul was talking about my fiance. He doesn't like any of the baked goods at Disneyland.
It's true though.
A lot of people agree. A lot of the Disney Twitter, they like the specials, they like the churros, they like the desserts that are like at the restaurant, but they just don't like the beignets, the what else? Oh, the at Hungry Bear.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Okay, we're going off on a tangent.
Okay, yeah.
But my favorite,
okay,
that works. My favorite with Splash is doing Splash, then going right over to Hungry Bear to dry off and have a great big churro sundae with a burger, and then waddle your way over to Galaxy's Edge.
Yes.
So, the winner was Splash Mountain, 74% to 26%.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And I think that's probably fair. I think you're always going to get like a 20-some% with Little Mermaid. People love Little Mermaid, Ariel. They also, I think, for people who don't like drops.
True. Or like to get wet.
My niece, when we took her to Disneyland, she claimed on the Little Mermaid ride that the people behind her were kicking her shell.
What?
And we were, because she was in a shell by herself. And we were like, Riley, no, they can't. Like, you'd have to be like 15 feet tall to reach them. No, they were. I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Funny. Okay, so Splash Mountain, and let's find out what it's going to go
Splash
up against.
is going to go up against the winner of the next two, which is Incredicoaster over at DCA and the Disneyland's Haunted Mansion.
Incredicoaster for me personally. Yep.
Yeah.
Just love it. Love it. Just a really, like we've talked about before, really well done roller coaster. Definitely one of the more thrilling rides at Disneyland with the loop-de-loop.
The inversion and the chocolate chip cookie smell.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I love the music on Incredicoaster. Like the guy who composed this, I just like it. It's so fun. And at the very end, they used to say it. They used to say when you get off, you hear the daughter say, "And don't forget your brother."
Oh,
but
yeah.
that wasn't there the last time we did it. Because I used to, because I would always yell it. It'd say
wow.
because it'd say, grab your belongings and, head off to the left.
Yeah.
And don't forget your brother.
Oh,
and
that's
I wasn't
so
there.
weird.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Haunted
I do
Mansion.
love when they say keep your arms and legs inside the ride at all times. I have to say, I don't like, when we've talked about this one before, we haven't talked too much about the line, but I do, even if it's a long line, it does seem to move fast.
It always does, doesn't it? Yeah.
And it's one of those ones that has those two steel rails on the side, so you can kind of take both your hands and kind of launch yourself up rather than walking with your feet. You can just do it all with your arms.
Oh, that just sounds very COVID-y. There's gonna be so much touching of the rails. You know what? I'm glad we're talking about Incredicoaster because we could talk about Haunted Mansion all day, but Haunted Mansion won. And we can talk about that more next week.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be really interesting.
Haunted Mansion up against Splash Mountain.
Oh, that is going to be.
So Haunted Mansion got 66%, Incredicoaster 34%. Okay. So, which I think is probably about right amongst the Disney
You're definitely going to
fandom.
have people that a
don't
lot
like
of people
roller
don't
coasters.
really like roller coasters. So
or Upside Down,
Yeah.
and also Haunted Mansion is just it's so classic.
Yes.
It's like Disney at its finest. If you like that kind of like the dark ride stuff, so
right.
And it's got good air conditioning. And I like sometimes when you're getting off, you don't have to walk because of the people mover.
Yes,
it's like the whole ground is moving, and so I always like that. It makes me feel like I'm walking fast. All right, so we could talk. We're gonna not talk too much because Haunted Mansion we'll talk a lot about next week. But Incredicoaster, I love it. One of my favorites. I just feel so when I get off it, I'm so energized. It's fast, but just not so fast to where it gets you sick. I love the music. It's a long ride too. I feel like you get your money's worth.
Yeah, your wait. I don't ever think of it as money's worth. I think of it as wait time's worth.
Well, you're right.
Like that was worth the wait.
The only thing, not the only, but I think the one thing that Incredicoaster could improve on is, like you said with this line, I do like that it moves quick, but it's also boring though. Like there's nothing to it. It's just like a regular fair line, like you're kind of on the switchbacks, like back and forth, back and forth. I like when you go up right before you get on it because it's like, oh, I'm almost there, and you can watch the little videos.
Yes, yep. Go over the little bridge.
What's amazing if you look back and you read that there's actually a storyline that's supposed to be happening, like where you lose Jack, and the whole ride you're trying to catch him, and that's what the cookies are doing to try to lure him. And no,
I just feel like they don't even need that. But,
I know,
but I get it. That's fine if they want to.
Yeah, they want it.
I'll let them fly with that.
And I do love how pretty it is at night with the red. So
yes.
Oh, okay. Controversial question because we're not going to talk about it ever again. Screamin' or Incredicoaster?
Screamin'.
Really?
Screamin'. Yeah. I just love that scream because you're screaming. I don't know. It's just like, and it isn't. Yeah. It's incredible. It's for the Incredibles, but. Screaming over California.
They didn't change much. I mean, like if you plugged your ears and shut your eyes, it's the same.
Oh, I'm
ride.
just going by the name.
Yeah. I
thought that we were talking about the name.
I was talking about like the theming. Did you like when Neil Patrick Harris counted you down? He was the one that counted you down.
I did like that. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah. The ride itself, I didn't think was, except for throwing a couple of those little cutouts of Jack on the sides. I don't think it was really that much of a change except for the name.
And this cookie smell, which I mean, whatever. Did we like those Jack cookies? Did you get them when we went?
I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I think they were good.
They're pretty good. Yeah, I don't think they're as good as I think I built them up too much in my head, but
yeah.
Okay, so Haunted Mansion versus Splash Mountain. That'll be our matchup on Monday. So if you're hearing this, get in there and vote. So now in round 3, Sweet 16, our next matchup is Indiana Jones Adventure over in Adventureland, up against Radiator Springs Racers in Cars Land at DCA.
Okay, I went with the Radiator Springs Racers.
Okay.
I just think it's a great ride. Like I've said before, just well done and fun. Indiana Jones, while it's a good ride, it's more of a it's just sometimes so bumpy and jerky. Whereas when you get off the cars, you just feel excited. So
yeah,
that's what I went with.
Okay. No, this is a hard one for me actually because I really love Indiana Jones Adventure. That was the first one we did. Remember on the engagement day?
Oh yeah, yep.
So we got in there and we got it. I love it. You're right. It is kind of jerky, so I could see it could keep some people from doing it. I don't think neither one of my parents could do it now, I do think, Myken, I think you hit it on the head last week or whenever we did it, the week before when you talked about how it has a history of being unreliable, which can kind of leave a negative taste in some people's mouth. Like, because, they sometimes never feel really confident going on it. Because, like, oh, great, I'm going to get all my kids. We're all going to get in line. And then, breakdown. Yep. So, I will say I agree with you. I think probably of the two, I'd say Radiator Springs Racers. I think it's got it's like 3 rides in one, right? It's a fast race ride, outdoor race at the end. There's that dark ride in the middle with, when they're like, whoa there.
Right.
And then just that opening scene with the waterfall, with the music when you come around that corner. It's
it's exciting.
In the way that especially that point, they make you feel like you're the only one on there. Like, I don't know, you just kind of feel special. So my pick was Radiator Springs Racers. I think it's one of the best newer rides Disney's done anywhere. However, Indiana Jones won.
It did. What was the breakdown?
60-40.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
close call.
And just so you know, with all these, they all were like, it was like 59.998764, but I just rounded to the nearest
Oh,
whole.
okay.
Because sometimes when I see a poll and it says like 60-40, I think to myself, oh God, they had 10 people vote. It was 6-4.
Oh, okay.
But there were a lot of people who voted, Mike, and I promise. So Indiana Jones is going to the next round. It missed its, I think it was his 35th birthday or 40th. Wait, it came out in 90.
Oh my gosh.
I think it was 35th. Yeah, I missed it last year because of COVID. It's so sad. But yeah, I think I mentioned this before. They're getting some big refurbishments done on it. I don't think it's going to be stuff we're going to really notice, but I think it's going to help with its reliability.
Oh, that's good.
And everyone always looks in Mara's eye. I wonder if one time no one does and the ride just ends right there.
Oh my gosh.
Because, someone always looks in Mara's eye. Okay.
Yes.
I will say, though, Indiana Jones probably has the best line in all of Disneyland. The only one I heard.
The waiting line. I thought you meant like the line that he says.
Oh, no, at the end. Okay, so that was Indiana Jones. It's going to go up against the winner of the next two, Matterhorn versus Grizzly River Run. Myken?
Oh my goodness. I was so torn on this, and I just had to.
Were you torn when you got off it because it's so bumpy?
No, this is funny though, because I vote on Instagram. So, you only have that certain amount of time. Yeah. So I was getting really stressed. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's about to flash to the next thing. I need to just make my decision. What am I going to do? And Matterhorn.
You did Matterhorn.
I did. I just went with my gut.
I got to teach you how to click back.
Oh, no, I do not. I know you can do it, but then otherwise I could just keep looking forever. So I just had to.
You did Matterhorn?
I did Matterhorn.
I think we talked about this in text, right? Yeah. I obviously would. I mean, I went with Grizzly River Run. I love Grizzly River Run.
I love it too. And that was what was so hard. This was a really, really tough matchup.
I will say Grizzly River Run is seasonal. I mean, they do shut it down in February for its refurbishments because it even gets cold in California,
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like Splash Mountain where you have to just plan when you're going to do it, because you can't just do it if you plan on, I don't know, going to a reservation right afterwards and, to go eat at Carthay Circle, or if you plan on going, I don't know. I feel like you have to do it at the end, either before you go back to your room to change, or if it's a really hot day, because you can really get soaked on Grizzly.
Yes.
So anyway, I picked Grizzly. Matterhorn won.
That is, I'm actually, I have to say, I'm kind of surprised.
Okay, why? Just you thought maybe because Matterhorn's getting known for being so jerky and so like.
I don't think it's known to be jerky. I think some people maybe don't think it's exciting. I feel like that is definitely a ride that is over before it starts.
It's quick, yeah.
Yeah. And so, again, yeah. I mean, I voted for it, so obviously I love it. But I just didn't know that. I thought there were some Matterhorn haters out there, but I'm happy to hear there's not.
Oh, no. Matterhorn's liked by all. I think it's got that nostalgia factor. It was the first roller coaster thrill ride in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And no other park. Orlando, Paris, Shanghai, and Tokyo, none of them have a Matterhorn ride. So Matterhorn won 64.
Matterhorn versus, yeah.
So 64 to 36%. It won. So now next week it's going to be Indiana Jones versus Matterhorn.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, the two backbreakers.
Yeah,
so
that will be very interesting.
All right. We come next to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad up against Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters.
Okay, I'm sorry. How the heck is this thing? This better be the end of Buzz Lightyear. How it made it to the Sweet 16, I do not know. So on that note.
So what was your pick, Myken?
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, a.k.a. the Runaway Train.
I know you got to change that thinking, though, because in a year and a half, they're going to have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Oh, yikes.
I know, back in Toontown. So,
Okay.
Oh God,
well,
we got to.
all right,
Big
Big Thunder.
I got to fly you down a ton.
Yes.
Between now and then to change your thought process.
Okay, I'll put it under my pillow.
Okay. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Me too. I mean, again, I think we've spoke way too much about Buzz Lightyear already, so I don't think there's not much more to say. I think it's just, with the exception is it's fun, especially for kids or guys who like, and girls who like the interactive stuff. It definitely, I think, could use an upgrade or really could use to go.
Okay, this better have been a landslide.
75 to 25.
Okay.
Which I guess is fair.
I
love Big Thunder. It's so pretty, and it's not scary. It's not like Incredicoaster. If you're like scared of fast or upside down, it's like such a nice roller coaster that almost anyone can do.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise how fast it goes. If you've never been on it, you're just like, oh, okay, and then all of a sudden, like, wow.
You know, it actually goes faster than Space Mountain. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the fastest ride in Disneyland?
No. What is it?
Splash Mountain.
What?
That moment of your fall is it goes faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yay.
moving on to Guardians of the okay. This is, I would say, the closest match of all of them. Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout over in DCA against the opening day attraction Jungle Cruise in Adventureland. Myken?
Oh my God, it's so funny. I'm trying to remember what I even voted for, but because I had to have voted for Jungle Cruise. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, but
You love that feeling, don't you? The dropping.
yeah. No, Jungle Cruise. Yep, Jungle Cruise, classic. It's gonna be exciting that they are redoing it now. So yeah, I had to go Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, I would say me too. Jungle Cruise. I love Incredicoaster. I love Splash. I love Big Thunder. But there has to be some that aren't all just fast, crazy, wet. You know what I mean? And
right.
I think Jungle Cruise kind of gives you that relaxed one. I find it funny.
Just think of Disney. They're like, oh, we could have used the same budget that we did on Jungle Cruise for the other ride because how much did they spend doing the Mission Breakout?
Oh, a lot. Well, then, already had the infrastructure in place for the Hollywood Tower of Terror. A lot. But, the big thing with Guardians is they wanted that was the first one of the Marvel movies for Avengers Land. So technically that was like the first ride in Avengers
God. Okay,
campus.
wait. I got to totally back up. I literally had the biggest brain fart of my life. I thought we were talking about the one over in Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, you were thinking Rise of the Resistance?
Yes.
Oh my God.
No, I gotta go back. I gotta go back. No, I voted for Guardians of the Galaxy because and even when you just said the Hollywood Tower of Terror was already there, and I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? He's like on drugs. But no, it's me on drugs.
Wait, you would have put Jungle Cruise over Rise of the Resistance?
Well, no. What's the simulator one over there?
Oh, Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
Smuggler's
Millennium
Run.
Falcon. Okay, that's why I couldn't remember. No, I voted for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh my Lord. Okay.
Oh my God, that's funny. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, definitely Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians over
Sorry,
Jungle
guys.
Cruise. And even though Rise of the Resistance.
No wonder I had no recollection.
Rise of the Resistance isn't on here because it's only open. You did do it, and you just for the record, you would put Rise of the Resistance over Jungle Cruise.
No, but I still was thinking Millennium Falcon.
Sure. Okay. Good.
Versus Jungle Cruise was okay. So if it was Millennium Falcon over Jungle Cruise, I would have voted Jungle Cruise.
Oh, good.
But because it's Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm going for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay. Well, I'm still with Jungle Cruise of the two. Guardians, I love. I get really nervous on it though. Like I don't like that
Well, that's
feeling.
the idea.
I know, but I like control. But then I also get nervous on Jungle Cruise because I want the skipper to think that I think he's funny or she's funny. So I'm like really like want to sit up front and like laugh really heavy and like
Make his day.
Yeah.
He gets home from work. Honey, you're not going to believe I really entertained this guy.
This big dude, and then I like stare at the other people who aren't laughing. Like, come on, people! And I like to watch them go. Is this supposed to be funny?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
get uncomfortable.
So yeah, Jungle Cruise for me, Guardians for you, and Guardians won.
Okay.
Yes. And Millennium Falcon did not win this round.
Okay.
Okay. It was 59% to 41%.
Ooh.
It's a close one.
That is a close one.
So yeah, Jungle Cruise will be, and like you said, I'll talk about it on the Disney Beat podcast coming out Monday morning about the upgrades and the changes they're going to make to Jungle Cruise.
Yeah.
Just, some changes. It's not going to be a total overhaul. So people can, some of the purists it was one of those weird announcements that, the Disney fandom online didn't freak out about.
Oh, that's great.
I know, it's kind of rare.
That is. So then it's Big Thunder versus Guardians.
Big Thunder versus Guardians.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be another really exciting matchup.
Yeah, agreed. And the next, I mean, just okay. So we have now the biggest.
Oh my gosh.
I know we have to. I don't even want to say it, but Pirates of the Caribbean is up against Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue.
Okay. Literally, it should have been Buzz Lightyear versus Monsters Inc.
3 rounds ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out. But I honestly don't. But yeah, Monsters Inc. just kept getting some competitors that really.
It beat Snow White on round 1, and I think the thinking whoever did this was that Snow White was going to go a lot farther. I was surprised.
Must have been, yeah, because yeah. So anyway, Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, we don't need to say anything more because
I hope the spread on this one was even more than the Buzz Lightyear. Thunder Mountain spread.
Yes, for sure it was.
Well, did Pirates win? I guess
Pirates won.
Okay,
and Pirates was my pick. And I think next week, when we have Marcy will join us, and we may be able to add a couple more, so we can really talk about the big guys. Monsters Inc. Pirates got 82%.
Oh, good.
Monsters Inc. 18%. So
okay, so that's been the biggest spread.
Biggest spread,
yeah.
Yes. Yep, there you go. Pirates moving on. I mean, enough. We've done enough Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully. I don't even like it. It's not even like I'm sitting here going like, ooh, I don't know. I kind of like Incredicoaster. I love Haunted Mansion. It's like I don't like Monsters Inc.
Well, no. And remember when you said when it went up against, wasn't it the Roger Rabbit versus Monsters
Yeah.
Inc. The number of people that didn't even vote.
People
because they didn't care.
It's like an election when they just hate everyone. They just sit out. So here, okay. So there you go. Pirates is going up, and Pirates is going to go up against the winner of this one. Space Mountain, the last matchup of this round.
Yeah.
So really savor this one, guys. Space Mountain up against the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Both space themed.
Yes.
One is a simulator, Millennium Falcon. Space Mountain's an indoor roller coaster. Myken?
Jungle Cruise. Oh, no, okay. Space Mountain, definitely.
Space Mountain, me too.
I love Space Mountain.
Oh, you do? You always have?
Space Mountain. Oh, yeah. Now, how do we know when did Space Mountain? How long's that one been around?
Oh,
70s maybe?
Came in, whoa, my voice just cracked. Yes, it came in the 70s.
Okay.
It was one of the few of, I don't want to say it like this. This could make people be very controversial. But it opened in Disney World first.
What?
Yes.
No, I could see that.
And then it came over to Disneyland. And so, so Disney World opened in 71, Magic Kingdom opened in 71. So, it was, it's been since the 70s. It's considered, again, like one of the classics.
It's literally, and maybe it's just because it's one of the kind of few that's open on the Magic Morning, because there's not a lot of choices on Magic Morning, but even still, it's always the first ride I run to.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yep.
And not running, because the little Disneyland employees, no running allowed, fast walking. And I'm telling you what, I can get my speed walking going.
I know they only have over in Disneyland. I don't know if they're going to change that once they, obviously they reopen. I think it's going to be an opportunity for them to make a lot of changes in terms of how they operate. But I do wonder if they're always going to keep Fantasyland and Tomorrowland as the only lands open on Magic Morning.
Yeah.
What would you? This wasn't prepared, Mike.
Okay.
But what two lands? I think Fantasyland always has to be one of them for Magic Morning.
Oh, definitely, because you're going to be going in there with your little kids, and
so what would be the other land? It can be
think,
Tomorrowland if you think, or do you think?
Maybe they would be smart to do Galaxy's Edge, because it's so popular. So, it'll be curious to see. And this is totally kind of getting off topic, but of the what's the new Rise of the Resistance? How they had the lottery and all that stuff. I'm assuming they're going to have to do that again.
They are. They're going to keep doing that for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that would be good though. Once they stop doing the lottery and it's just first come, right?
Yeah.
That they open it up, or even if they do the lottery, maybe the first hour of Rise of the Resistance, it would be for Magic Hour guests. Because the whole point of the Magic Hour is it's supposed to be a benefit for people who stay at the Disneyland hotels.
Right.
Grand California, Disneyland Hotel, and Paradise Pier, which I really hope they change the name of that to Pixar Pier. hotel, and then because it's right there, and there can be put a little bridge over right into Pixar Pier into DCA.
That would be cool.
That's like my dream. I mean, it's not my dream. That's kind of sad.
Wow, okay.
God.
Dream big.
Dream big. So, but anyway, as a benefit for people to stay in the hotels. So I think, I mean, God, talk about a benefit. You'd almost guaranteed that first hour to get on Rise of the Resistance.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So, yep, there is Space Mountain, Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. We talked a lot about Millennium Falcon. I agree. I think we agree that we enjoyed it. It's fine. It's a simulator. It's good. I think it's a good ride. Like, it's a good ride. Does not need to go to Elite 8, and it's not. Space Mountain 173 to 27.
Okay. I'm not surprised. Also, it's a newer ride, so I don't know how many of your voters really had gone within the last year that it had been open. So
yeah, it opened.
And I could see, though, honestly, that maybe even people that hadn't actually been on it, but you're a Star Wars fan, you just would vote for it. But
yes, I think there's some people who voted for it just because they're Star Wars fans. I think some people who voted against it, who hadn't ridden it, who hadn't written. Remember that song "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield?
I love that song.
Me too. So anyway, people maybe who haven't written, gosh darn it, who haven't been on it, maybe just heard some people talk about not liking it, but nonetheless, that seems about right. Like 27%. Space Mountain 73. Space Mountain. I don't know. Do you think they're just gonna be able to ride that thing till it breaks, or are they gonna have to do some kind of updates at some point?
I think they're just gonna keep going with it. It's almost in the category of classic.
Yeah,
and
for
so
sure.
People will just continue to go on it just because it's kind of it's Space Mountain. I mean, it's one of those things. You look at it, you see the castle, you see the Matterhorn, you see Space Mountain.
Yeah,
if
it's
you were
one of
just
those.
To look on the horizon of Disneyland, it's one of those three things, and I think it'll always be. But.
We took Riley, my niece, and she was just because she's right on that cusp of being scared but still doing stuff, and it was one of her favorites.
That surprises me.
I know.
Just because she's kind of a worrywart, so yeah.
She is. I know you'd think, right, with the lights off. I have always been terrified of Space Mountain because I'm so big. I'm like, I'm my head's gonna hit one of the beams. I always think that. Like in my mind, like the track is just falling apart and no one's looking at it, and like. But anyway, Space Mountain is going to go on. I think good showing for Millennium Falcon, only being open for a little bit before the parks close. So there we go. So next week for the Elite 8, we have Splash Mountain against Haunted Mansion, Indiana Jones against the Matterhorn, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad against Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout, and Pirates of the Caribbean against Space Mountain.
It's very interesting because Haunted Mansion isn't. I was just going to say it's mostly thrillish type rides.
You're right.
Yeah.
And Pirates isn't either. But yeah, they were at a star.
Well, I don't know. You get that drop.
You do. Oh my gosh, I know. Oh, you weren't there with my niece. Like,
yeah.
I was like, because I was kind of sick of her being. I mean, oh gosh, she's gonna hear this. I wasn't sick of you, Riley. I felt bad. That's really what it was. I did feel bad because you'd get nervous. Why am I talking just to her? That my niece would get nervous, and that would make me feel kind of guilty. Like, oh gosh, like, is she not even having fun? Like, this is supposed to be such a fun 3 days. And so when we'd go on something like Little Mermaid or Mr. Toad, I would say, like, no need to worry here. Like, nothing's gonna happen. It's just
and you said that on.
And
Pirates.
I said that on Pirates because in like my mind, nothing really does happen.
Yeah,
and
you're just in the blue bayou with those fireflies. And
yeah, well, I think those drops are, to most of us, you don't think too much of it. It's just you realize you need those drops to get you kind of underneath so you can kind of do the whole show. But if you don't know and you just think you're just doing a boat ride with no drops, I guess they are kind of.
It's unexpected. If you have never been on it, I think I could see where you would be like, "Oh my gosh, what just happened?"
And that first one's so dark, and then you
go right out into that the ships and the bombing and the cannons and all that stuff.
Yep,
so.
And there you go. And then you got Uncle Sean, who's lying to you apparently.
Is that what she said?
No. She was like, because right before the drop, you kind of go like it stops for a sec to time it out, and she kind of looked over at Paul and she grabbed the side. She's like, "You said there's no drops," and I was like, "Oh, I totally forgot. Like, this wasn't me."
Oh my god!
Like, the last thing you want to do as a kid, I think, at Disneyland is lie to him.
Right.
You want to get them on because you want them to.
Usually, any situation, you don't really want to lie to them.
But it's like there because especially that because it's immediate, it's an immediate trust thing that you've lost. Like, oh no, it's nothing, and then
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right. I think most are. I was kind of surprised that Radiator Springs is gone and Jungle Cruise are gone. But I think, I mean, really, we have the heavy hitters right there. Splash, Haunted, Indy, Matterhorn, Big Thunder, Guardians, Pirates, and Space. I mean, the only one really missing is Rise, and that just wasn't available this round. So that'll be fun next week. I don't know. Do you know right away? Can you easily, don't say it, but are there ones, who do you think is going to be the top? Which one do you think is going to win? Not that you want to win.
Right. Which one do I think is going to win? Oh my gosh. I don't. This crowd can. I don't know. I almost feel like it could be Indiana Jones. I don't know why. I just feel like that ride is so popular. But
I think it could be Splash, just because it's not going to happen for a little while. But we know that there's a retheme coming. Pirates of the Caribbean. I just think people really in their mind think that's. Even though it wasn't even open, I mean, it opened after Walt died. And same with Haunted, but like people just think of it as like one of the originals because Walt did work on it. So Splash, Haunted, or Pirates, or Space. I know,
really narrowing it down.
I
didn't know if we could choose 4 things to talk about. Like
out of the 8, I picked 4. But the next round, though, Splash is up against Haunted and Pirates is against Space. So that'll get cut too. Anyway. That's that. There we go. We have it. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for not like, obviously we're not at all anywhere near being at the end of this pandemic, but at least we're getting some better news, slowly better news. People we know and love are getting vaccinated. They're starting to allow outdoor dining in California. So that's good. And hopefully we can make it down to Orlando to get those Disney World rides done here soon.
Yes.
And we just hope, we love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Myken.
Have a great weekend.
And don't forget to vote next week. We're going to do Monday through Thursday again, and then we'll have the winners announced next Friday.
Woohoo.
Bye. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed our rundown of the tournament's third round matchups. I'm sure there are many of you with very different opinions, and we would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to check out thedisinsider.com this Sunday to see a list of all the winners and check back each day next week to vote in round 4. There will be our regularly scheduled Disney Beat podcast released Monday morning covering all the news of this past week. On behalf of myself and those of us here at the Disney Beat, along with the Disney Insider, we wish everyone good health and prosperity. With that, I want to say thank you for listening. If you liked the show, please rate and review it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever else you listen. These ratings really help the show find new listeners. I also ask that you share the podcast with friends and family who love Disney. I also co-host the podcast Walt's Apartment, along with the Disney Parks themed podcast Extra Magic Hour. Both of these shows are available wherever you listen to podcasts. All stories can be found at thedisinsider.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the handle @thedisinsider, or on Facebook by searching The Diz Insider. You can follow me, your host, Sean Nyberg, on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram @Sean Nyberg. Thank you again for listening. I will see you again Monday morning for a regular edition of the Disney Beat podcast, and next Friday for a round 4 wrap-up of the Disneyland Resort Tournament of Rides. My name is Sean Nyberg, and as always, have a fantastic week.